What's up, Journeyers? Fellow classmates of the School of Hard Knocks. Today I've got a proposition for you. Did curiosity really kill the cat? Where we discuss to remain stock or to not. What's up, everybody? Thank you again for joining us over here at the Concealed Journey. I'm your long-winded speed reviewer, Damien. And if you've ever confused Scott Baio, John Stamos, and Tony Danza, go ahead and blast that like button. Also, please consider getting up there, subscribing to the channel. It does wonders for us over here at TCJ. Please, once again, I encourage you to get down in the comment section, leave us some words of encouragement, potentially some constructive criticism. We're really just wanting to hear that engagement from you folks, something maybe we missed in the video here today, things we should add in future videos, or just an account of your own personal experience through with whatever we're discussing today. So thank you for that. Stay tuned. Enjoy what we've got. Here today, the objective of this video is not to necessarily say that any one direction, whether it be this side of the table or this side of the table, is better, right? But that both of them are viable options. What we hope to do is actually just give you a rough overview of both, some pros and cons, for you to decide later. This is more of a proposition instead of like a sentence in affirmation from ourselves. I'll tell you some of the things that we've gone through over here. We've got like the stock setup over here. And over here, we've got somewhat of an upgraded setup. So this is going to be a little bit more cost effective at the cost of maybe some comfort, maybe some concealment. Over here, we've got things that are going to cost you a little bit more, but maybe it falls into that buy once, cry once kind of deal. To start things out, as the video of this title is called, to stock or to not. Right? So here we have a stock Glock 19, sans the sights, which I think is an absolute must upgrade on any Glock you ever buy, is replacing those chintzy plastic dovetail protectors. So on this one, we've got some True Glow H3s, right? So these have a high-vis front orange, U-notch rear, somewhat of a copy of the Tridgegun HDs, which actually are my personal preference, or the XRs. The XRs are sick too. If you're going to go the route of stock, right, or not, if you're going to go the route of stock, I definitely, like I already prefaced, I definitely highly recommend at least getting aftermarket sights, because the sights that come on a stock Glock 19 are, I think, horrendous, atrocious. I think they're confusing to the eye. I think they're counterintuitive as far as their actual design. And if you ever need to implement these sights in like one-handed manipulations, let's say, I don't find the plastic sights that come stock on a Glock to be adequate for that type of work. Maybe that's a little bit more advanced than the kind of people that are going to be watching this video, considering what kind of holster that they're going to get into, whether it's a $40 holster from Bravo or whether it's a $130 holster from, in this case, Tier 1 Concealed, or $90 for a quick ship from T-Rex, or $85 for an appendix carry from the Kennedy Co., whatever, what have you. Significant price increase on this side of the table. Another pro for going stock Glock is that you have extra money left over for ammo. You have extra money left over for maybe taking a day off to go train, right? For other accessories, where we talked about being a protector or being a collector. Like, are you just modifying all of these things because it's fun to buy stuff and just trick things out? But is that really necessary? In a recent IG Live that we did on our Instagram, we talked about what are some regrets that you may have, or some information that you could give yourself if you went back to you from when you began your interest and passion exploring into the gun world. What would be some advice that you would give yourself? And I personally answered it like, well, I would probably prefer to have one super cool setup versus 5 decent setups. That would be some advice that I would give myself. Moving on to a couple of upgrades. Are they necessary? Are they worth it? I think everybody should certainly learn fundamentals on stock bare bones as much as you can. That upgrades aren't necessarily standard, but that they're earned, right? So when I first started carrying, I carried a Glock 19, and one of the first things I would say in the first 3 months I replaced the sights. After that, I still carried just like this, no weapon light, and I carried at 4 o'clock originally, similar to a holster like this. Mine was one of the old generations of the Bravo concealment. I had one from Raven concealment as well, and I carried at 4 o'clock. And I don't know if it's worth me saying, but I feel like I trained on stock and I earned these upgrades, where I can tell you how much I really know the appreciation difference between having an aftermarket trigger or running a stock trigger. I think it's important, and I think every shooter should be capable of being efficient and proficient with stock setups, whether that be stock sights, stock trigger, stock frames, grips, no extended magazine release or extended slide stop. We don't have any base pads on here. I don't think that necessarily improves the performance of the handgun or even the ergonomics or handling of the gun, but it's another upgrade that maybe you don't have to spend $40 on another thing. So if you want to talk about cost savings, if this is ever just a monetary perspective for you, then you have the stock route, because like I mentioned over here, this is a $1,000 gun setup, $130 holster. Now, don't get me wrong, I do carry this all day, every day, and I have found that this holster is the pinnacle of holsters as far as my preferences are concerned. And that's for me, that's for my body type, that's for how I carry and how I like to carry. That may not be the same for you. Everybody's gonna have different body types, and actually in a future video, we are going to talk about how to carry on your body, what type of carry is gonna be best for whatever given type of body type you may personally have. Moving on further, I would advocate that you do, in fact, listen to the people around you's advice. Whether it be people like us or other people that are in the industry. Obviously, we can all just be immediately connected with other folks on social media. It's really just a direct message away, and somebody's eventually going to answer you. Whoever you do respect, whoever you find to be a reputable reviewer or instructor, somebody who has experience in this world, contact them, ask them questions. If they're anything like myself, they would be absolutely honored that somebody is asking them any type of advice, any type of perspective from what they've gained going through this gun world, going through concealed carry, or how to set up a rifle, right? That's another thing that could totally be applied to this is, you know, do you have 7 basic budget AR setups, or do you have one super cool one where you could afford other gear like a plate carrier, where you could afford other gear like nods, whatever, other accessories, you know, things like that. Ammo to train. You know, if you bought one gun instead of 5, you could afford ammo and you could afford a day off of work to actually go train. And training is way more important than having a bin full of holsters and 5 guns that you don't even wear anymore. 5 ARs that you don't even shoot because you got your one favorite one that's essentially the epitome of everything that you figured out the hard way doesn't work for you. So to close on that, obviously there are a lot of talking points here, whether it be pros and cons for staying stock or not, whether it be Gucci or basic. The pros and cons are measured by you. We aren't necessarily advocating for this one being better than this one or vice versa, but think about it not only in a sense for concealed carry handguns and holsters, but maybe you could apply that over to putting together a rifle, guns in general, or even the gear that you put together, whether it be just this gun world specifically or your entire life. Is it worth it to be a spender, or are you trying to be a defender? I mean, are you spending money just on frivolous things because it's fun and it's cool to have a bunch of stuff? Or are you going to be the kind of guy that's got a bin full of holsters that you don't even wear anymore? For myself, I've got no regrets. As always, thank you for watching. We appreciate you tuning in here with us. It's an absolute honor and joy to be doing this weekly with you. Consider getting over to theconcealedjourney.com, where we have swag, we've got vinyls, we've got a weekly blog as well as training schedules. Appreciate you guys. Take care, be well, check your chambers, stay safe. Thanks.